Hello friends, in this lecture we will discuss about probably the most important work of Max Weber, that is bureaucracy. So let us start now. The term bureaucracy was first coined by the Vincent de Gournay, a French economist in 1745. For criticizing government for insensitive rules and regulations that were hampering business activity. Even in India today's day, we can witness the issues of insensitiveness and irrational regulation, unwanted regulations that is hampering business activity in India. So main issue is more than almost 300 years. We can see here the character has not changed on the ground level. It meant government by desks. However, it was Max Weber who gave the first scientific treatment to bureaucracy. He freed the term from pejorative connotations and emphasized the indispensability of it for the rational and efficient attainment of organizational goal. For Weber, bureaucracy is not merely civil sources, rather it is sociological concept or rationalization of collective action. For Weber, bureaucracy is an ideal type organization model vested with legal rational authority to coordinate and control the activities of many individuals in pursuit of organizational goal. Its structural aspects consist of division of work, hierarchy, system of rules, and role specificity, and its behavioral aspect is characterized by rationality, impersonality, rule orientation, and neutrality. So here structural aspects consists of division of work, hierarchy, system of rules and rule specificity, and behavioral aspects is characterized by rationality, impersonality, rule orientation, and neutrality. Here the two aspects of bureaucracy, structural aspects and behavioral aspects. Now let us see the characteristics of bureaucracy. Work is organized in the form of offices, and activities performed are called official duties. Offices are organized in a hierarchy which acts as a chain of command and control in which decisions are taken at the top and flows down to bottom based on information flows from bottom to top. Decisions are taken on the basis of abstract and general rational rules. Every decision is an act of interpreting the general rule in a particular situation. Bureaucrats, that mean officials, work with an attitude of formalistic impersonality. Basis of recruitment is technique, competence, and merit. Work is constituted as a full-time career with proper system of rewards and promotion. In time of crisis, it breaks down and another type of authority develops, that is charismatic authority. Weber argued that bureaucratization is inevitable as industrialization develops. According to him, bureaucracy is the most efficient, most rational, superior to any other form, indispensable and permanent. So Weber was very much optimistic about bureaucracy. According to Weber, the following factors are responsible for the rise of bureaucracy. First one is creation of money economy, that is characteristic of industrialized society. Emergence of capitalistic economy, growth of democratic institutions, emergence of complex administrative problems, development of modern means of communication, growth of rationalism, growth of population. But Weber saw the negative effects of bureaucracy. For example, it can stifle creativity, specialist without spirit, and bureaucratic organization produce an iron cage that imprisons and restricts people. It aligns with vested interest. We can witness it, and even today in India, too much is there. Third one is it tends to be status quo. In times of crisis, bureaucratic leaders will be ineffective as it is trained to follow orders and conduct routine operations rather than to make policy decisions and take initiative in response to crisis. To Weber, the process of rationalization, for which bureaucracy is the prime expression, is basically irrational. It is ultimately aimless since it tends to destroy the traditional values that give meaning and purpose to life. Control over bureaucracy. Weber argued that bureaucracy can be controlled by subordinating it to a political head. But the main challenge is that bureaucrats understand the system better than politicians, and politicians lack the technical expertise. He believed that strong parliamentary control could control state bureaucracy. Parliamentary committee needed which systematically cross-examine the civil servant. Therefore, it is said that Weber's view of bureaucracy is ambivalent. Now, critical evaluation of Weber's bureaucracy. Critics have argued that Weber's bureaucracy is concerned too much on formal structure and neglecting the human dimension, and suitable for only routine and repetitive job and not for tasks involving creativity and innovation. R.K. Merton has questioned the rationality Weber's bureaucracy. Adherence to rules results into rigidity, formalism, ritualism, trained incapacity, and dysfunctional consequences. Thurston Veblen has argued that bureaucratic model, due to its obsession with rules, engenders inability to cope with changing conditions. It socializes the official incapable of dealing with new things. He described this as a trained incapacity. Michel Crozier had described bureaucracy as a rigid organization that cannot correct its behavior by learning from its error. Einstein has said that bureaucracy is the death of all sound work. Warren Bennis has predicted the death of bureaucracy due to its rigidity and insensitivity. He has argued that in future it will be replaced by adhocracy. We have to remember this term, which is characterized by adaptive, flexible, integrative, and spontaneous organizational behavior. Marx has argued that bureaucracy is an instrument in the hands of dominant class to exploit and oppress the other social classes. So it's all about critical evaluation of Max Weber bureaucracy. If questions will be asked, then we have to highlight the positive aspects and negative aspects and what needs to be done to make the bureaucracy more sensitive, responsive, and dynamic. So it's all about Weber's bureaucracy. Thank you very much.